Good day everyone, I am Benjamin Kayanong and this is my presentation. So welcome to the subject of the child and adolescent learner and learning principle. So without further ado, I will start now my presentation. My agenda is to recall and summarize what I have learned from the lesson week 1 to week 3. Week 1. Our topic from week 1 is human development. What is human development? Suntrack 2000. This is according to Suntrack 2002. He stated that human development is a pattern of movement or change that begins a connection and continues through lifespan. These are the three domains of human development. First is physical domain. Physical domain involves our growth and changes in our brain and body, our senses, motor skills, and our health and wellness. Second is cognitive domain. Cognitive domain, it involves our learning, attention, memory, language, thinking, reasoning, and our creativity. Third is psychological domain. Psychological domain involves our emotion, personality, and social relationships. So let's proceed to the major principle of human development. First, human development is relatively orderly. It involves these two patterns, the proximodistal pattern and cephalocaudal pattern. The proximodistal pattern, which is the starting of the growth, and the cephalocaudal pattern, which describes the characteristics of human growth. Second principle is why the pattern of development is likely to be similar. The outcome of developmental process and the rate development are likely vary among individuals. Next is development takes place gradually. This is where person undergo changes and results in the display of developmental characters. And the last principle is development is as process is complex because it is the product of biological, cognitive, and social-emotional process. This is according to Suntrack 2002. So, biological process include changes in the individual physical nature. The cognitive process involves change in the individual thoughts, intelligence, and language. Last is a socio-emotional process. It includes changes in the individual relationships with other people, changes in emotions, and changes in personality. So these are the two approaches to human development. The first is traditional approach and the second is the lifespan approach. These are the characteristics of lifespan perspective, and this is according to Paul Baltes, Suntrack 2002. First is the development. The development is lifelong, meaning it is continuous. Development is multi-dimensional. Development is plastic. Development is contextual. Development involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. So let's proceed to the week 2 lesson. Our week 2 lesson is entitled Strategy of Development. These are the developmental tasks according to Suntrack 2002. First is prenatal period. Next is infancy, from birth to 2 years. Next is early childhood, end of infancy to 6 years old, or the grade 1. Next is middle and late childhood, ages 6 to 11 years. At This is the elementary school years. Next is the adolescents, 10 to 12 years of age and up to 18 to 22 years of age. This stage early adulthood, from late teens or early 20s, lasting through the 30s. Second to the last one is the middle adulthood, from 40 to 60 years of age. Lastly, the late adulthood. This stage from 60 to 60 years above. So let's proceed to the week 3. Research in child and adolescent development. These are the research designs. First is the case study. The case study is the in-depth look at an individual. Second is the correlational study. This determines associations. Third is experimental. This determines the cause and effect. Fourth is naturalistic observation. Fifth is longitudinal. This studies and follow through a single group over a period of time. Next is cross-sectional. This involves individuals of different ages are compared at one time. Next is sequential. This starts with a cross-sectional study that includes individuals of different ages. And the last one is action research. The next one is the data gathering techniques. First is the observation. Second, psychological measures. Third, it must be standardized. Fourth, interviews and questionnaires. Fifth is life history records. So it is important to know the ethical principles, why we conducted a specific studies. So these ethical standards serve as reminders that as researchers, we should strive to perfect and we should strive to protect and protect the subject of our study and to maintain the integrity of our research. So that's all for the third week, and that's all for my presentation. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening. God bless.